Hello and welcome to the recap video of Maze's End here on 5Qs at legitmtg.com. I'm Joshua Clater. We've had some fun playing our matches today, and now I'm going to go through the results. We finished 2-3. The aggro decks gave me trouble, which I kind of find surprising because there's 16 fogs in the deck, there's 7 pieces of mass removal, there is detention spears to deal with individual threats, but stuff like Elspeth, Sun's Champion, Assemble the Legion, Porphyros really give this deck fits. And the matches that I struggled against, we saw stuff like the Elspeth or Spike Jester on turn 2, which you would think against a fog deck, Spike Jester on turn 2 wouldn't be a huge bother, but it actually is. You only have so many resources. So, one of the questions I asked in the article was, is the deck good enough at 61 cards? Common practice is you stay at 60 for a constructed deck. And with this deck, the Bow of Nylea seems really good in theory, but I feel like the Bow as a one-of in the deck was just kind of tacked on last minute, like John Torres couldn't figure out what to cut in its place. The negates, half of one, 6 of the other. I don't feel the negates actually fit well either. So if I were to make cuts, I would cut the Bow, and I would cut the negates. Three Merciless Evictions felt perfect. The Supreme Verdicts felt perfect. I think 16 fogs, it sounds like a lot. It really does. But I think 16 is where we want to be. We want to have a fog. Well, we want to have multiple fogs against stuff like Mono Blue Devotion, where they could, in theory, counter your fogs as they're coming in for the kill strike. Or multiple fogs against Mono Black Devotion, where they have Thoughtseize. We want to be able to, not rely on just, man, please don't deal with this one answer I have. I think the negates are more a concession to the blue-white control deck than they are to mono blue or mono black. I don't know how. I know that John went 2-4 on day 2 after going 7-2 on day 1. But I don't know what he got paired against day 2. I don't know where he ran into problems at. Oops, I put a fog in the cut pile. So, if I were to make changes to this deck, I would first cut it down to 60. So, Bow's gone. The negates, I feel, are better off in the sideboard. And the card that really impressed me the most out of the board, I was boarding them in, or wanting to board them in more than normal, was Turn and Burn. Turn and Burn gives you answers to stuff like Ghost Council. It gives you a good out to Porphyros. It gives you an out to Thesa, because, you know, you make them 0/1s with no abilities, and then they'd hate 2 damage. I really like the idea of turn burn there because it's another early game fog against aggro. I just think that they do better than negate in the main. But again, the gameplay videos that we played, I didn't get to see mono black or mono blue or the blue white control deck. Now, knowing that this standard is, well, pretty much a dead format since Born of the Gods pre-release was this weekend, I don't know if we want to make any other wholesale changes to the deck. I think the way that this 75 is set up now, with turn burns main, bow out, down to 60 cards, that this would be an ideal starting point for Maze's End as we move forward with Born of the Gods. I like the deck. I had a really fun time playing it, but this is pretty much in my wheelhouse. I like weird, quirky decks that do cool things, and I think winning with Maze's End is an insanely cool thing. Do I think there is a place for this deck in Standard as we move on to Born of the Gods? I believe so. I think John probably ran into a combination of bad luck and bad matchups during day 2 of the Grand Prix. So I don't know if I could recommend playing this in a Grand Prix style event or an SCG Open, or, you know, something with a ton on the line. But I do think that I could recommend this for a Friday Night Magic, something small, something local, something without a huge expense on your part. So I say give the deck a go. Have fun with it. Maze's End, it's a fun card. The deck was fun, so give it a go. Have fun with it. I'm going to go ahead and end this recording because I think that I'm babbling now. So let me know how you thought I played. Let me know what you think of the possible changes. How would you play or build a Maze's End deck? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for checking us out here on LegitMTG.com. I'm Joshua Claytor signing off. Have a great Tuesday.